Hi, and welcome to the turbocamaro.ca video. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our turbo setup. As you can see here, I've got a CX Racing 68 AR GT35 T4 turbo here in front of me. It's got like I said, a 68 turbine and a 70 compressor wheel. It should actually spool up pretty nice. It's a pretty decent size here, as you can see, compared to the size of my hand. It's not bad. I mean, it's nothing like you'd see with dual turbos on the brand new big V8s or anything like that. But for this little Chevy 250 engine that's going on, it should just be fantastic. So we'll see. As you can see here, this is the raw piping. It's done, but it does require some cleanup and some painting and whatnot, but you get the general idea here. Looking at it, it's going to be something like this from an engine point of view. This is where it hooks up to the exhaust manifold, which is the Chevy 292 stock 2.5-inch output exhaust manifold. I'll have a donut gasket in here, depending on how it seals up. I have to get that real tight. The curve is so sharp that I had to actually put the bolt in before it was all welded together, just so that we'd have a bolt there to actually weld it up. From there, it goes into a small rise, which brings you to the wastegate. Now, the wastegate's an SPA Turbo 35mm. It has a 3-bolt S flange for the input, and then a 2-bolt sort of I think it's a slightly compact flange for the output, which is fine. Essentially, it'll set up to here. This is adjustable. Any pressure beyond what I want will get put through this gate and go back into the downpipe. This right here, it will connect to right here, and that is just a small, I think it's about a 9 to 10 inch or so pipe that slightly curves down into the new 3-inch exhaust here. So moving along from the wastegate, it goes up into a typical T4 flange, which matches the bottom of the turbo here. So this was just mounted on. Now you can see here, it's actually a square flange, and what we did is just took I think it was a 4-inch or 3.5-inch pipe here, and just sort of made it square, and then had to weld it on. It was basically a reducer. I think it went from 3.5 down to 2.5-inch. So now it's basically a square that goes down to 3. So with the turbo on there, the back of the turbo, when it's all lined up properly, sits right at the back here. There's a V-band flange, which is the same as the V-band on the back of the turbo here. Uses this basically compression clamp right on there to here. This is a Vibrant. I think the Vibrant is the brand for the clamp and the flange piece, which goes again over to a 3-inch pipe to a 90, which goes down to another 90, and then out. That'll join up with the existing 2.25-inch exhaust, and right beyond this is the Wideband Bung. For a turbocharge application, the AEM wideband recommends about a 36-inch distance to the sensor, so you don't get, I guess, much of a heat soak from the turbo. But this will be maybe slightly more than that. But I mean, wideband, it's just going to basically mean that I might have a slight, hesitation when I'm getting the air-fuel ratio readings. So beyond that, that's pretty much it. I mean, as you can see here, there's quite a bit of pipe going on because I couldn't just mount the turbo directly on the stock manifold. So there's a little bit of pipe here. I think that was just some 2.5-inch pipe that we kind of had. Ended up chopping off a bit of a 90 here, and then a new piece as well that on there. So there's quite a bit of 90s going on in here. This was just I think a 2-foot long piece that just had a weird bend in the middle. So you just hacked it off and used that. This was a piece of a YJ pipe that I had to order. It's actually Vibrant brand as well, and it's I think it was like $80 or something ridiculous like that. Quite a bit of money for what it is, but then again, it's a high quality mandrel bent 3-inch pipe. It's not stainless steel, it's just mild steel, so it would rust, but I'm going to be putting the VHT flat aluminum paint on it, just like I did with the exhaust manifold, so I'm not going to get too excited about it. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the design. I think it's going to work quite well. It was pretty tight right in here. As you might be able to tell, the pipe actually widens a bit here because it had to be compressed a little bit to be able to allow it to go over the motor mount. Unfortunately, working with a 67 Camaro, it's not like a big truck or something like that. There is quite a bit of a learning curve to getting it in there, as well as some obstacles. So it's going to be interesting to see it all come together. There's not going to be many, if there's going to be very few of these engines in Camaros, the turbocharged like this. Probably none exactly like this. So it'll be great to see. If you have any questions about any of this, obviously it's not quite done yet, but the next time you see this, it probably will be painted, and very likely it'll be either, well, it'll probably be during the assembly video or just a matter of it being done video. So I do want to do some more videos in between this and that. So by all means, stay tuned, and feel free to subscribe on YouTube. Any questions, leave them in the comment section below, or you can catch me on Facebook and Twitter as Turbo Camaro 67. Thank you very much for watching.